madam for na.
Okay.
Ponko obi adamfo. So obi apopon, obi apepon.
Me pepon kwase me bank na foforo me kwatena ponko bi so beach aba bi. Na me nim say so mu charges a. Omo wie na me botom sika nyina na o ma.
No ntina.
Sa me nyo mo ani ano na me foro na me kwana maba na me kwana maba.
I say na de.
Na de.
One of the greatest exercise.
But na me nim say ne bo en
Ubedu fi adichie wa uti
oh no me de na so na Vramane famosa.
This is Angel 102.9.
But abapa fashion na say for enye onko amahunu omo ekura poma no different say fashion na ye ncha say use be.
Well, you can say fashion, you can say likeness.
Okay. Poma.
I like holding stick. The rod and that stuff shall comfort me.
So the other year comfort.
This is your rod.
There be only the na awo etabam one or the bomut.
I have a lot of stuff.
But I think it's the third or fourth different kinds of poma me say kitano.
Oh, different ones.
Yes.
Different animals.
I have different ones.
What ponko nowadays?
I have eagle.
Eagle.
I have lion.
Hey. Lion.
And I have the hat.
Akomanso will be. Joe.
We know inspiration from somebody, a grandfather, a grand uncle,
sure.
and I say it's a chosen fashion.
Yeah, me na no kita puma, papa so no kita puma.
Influence if you.
One of the things I want to say, say unama, so nya bibia, ebebo ho ban, enye spiritual. On say come and cry, Bible attack you. Something as word of the cramming. Yeah. So yeah, bring na call in room kufu ma. Obi atwa aba. So we used to create our own style of stick. Every time we call in room no, share forest ni ebi e betwa na ya sinsin ni aye no. So it has been part of me for long. But once ye nyi no ukoni pem na okita sa na na so isem paraboni people have a whole lot of mindset about you. Obi so obetimi atry you. So first say we na okita no e draw be to create you. But me say so far me no ni track me no ni assembia when you try me to not harm me because until say me no will be
and no more trying saying like I saw bosh
one baby mu abedwen baby mu obi mu kita sa no 77 Jimmy Ndrobi now
this is Angel 102.9.
If you are no who try obi it will be try obenya but who try obi ada na nyesa adwin po na okita obi try anya. Yeah.
Just because of a moment you be trial.
Oh yeah, people do it.
Hey.
Yeah. Say pomano yenkita ne sa akwa. So no kind no. Believe some hold it as a symbol of protection. Spiritual protection.
Okay.
Into bi ohun say ukita pomana or he odin yan say eh na sa wa bene pa. Into no so abene a on so be try wa hwe. Your onkrofo bi no on so a say ono when kita pomana as a symbol of protection na be pie no hakasa onko beko. Yeah. Maybe no beko. No. Okay. No, onko da. You say be an price, you say be otifie. No money there sa na there. It's funny. But
like I so okura pomane there.
That's it.
Like I say
and you see these animals e be an spiritual power.
Okay.
Enti obi ohun abo okita so akwa we abin e be try no but nyame kan say me spiritual protection but na say me nya madwin say me try obi a you try me but so also dey say hu obi na we nya abrin na try na obi so nya o baby no ode yewa be ka
Tad no mache na mo say adwabo ase you check kra no be o chia na to ba bi a che say wa ben you ko no for a ye che na ye o mo hye no
the way obe hye no
so se bi o
represent it
se bi o ho na che say o pese o che say we obi be try o.
Yeah.
African
but it happens here in Africa.
Yeah.
But Africa is not a religious place, but it's rather a spiritual place. Yeah. And you can't take these things out of it. Anyway.
Anthony, yan share parliament, yes, you will. Meaning what the party stands at here with regards to Nipa Miensa, Sabri privileges, Yepia or more alcohol because Muntaka sorry strongly and or just a set bad precedence. But when the MPs Nibi Kasa, it looks like say a party decision or say ye denu and with Nipa yet to about trouble moon some representative of parliament. Womo Juma, whether a kwasa the or this type of association as a air chassis, should it be encouraged? We cry there say, ni la ya futiago time onena, anti parliament. No, I'm looking at
government that's me didn't chabe 5 days so I'm share ni I'm mutinina with the mama kasa no crew. I believe say near course no but don't think as a party decision because NDC in a controlling parliament. Parliament is an institution of the country. Mumra and Omumra Ghana Mrapona Chere, we are Mrashabe Junior, near Sawiye, near Sawiye. Number of times went to me and back and be age one proud noticer, the essay,
yeah, they are
faso. And said there has been a ruling, Martin versus Attorney General. It's a judgment on that. And the speaker, I refer based on MCOBD petition by and to the privileges committee say omunyan hwehwemu omuntieti nkrofo 3 ano na omuntimi nche ni enti a ye man ntwe omo aso say omo absent for 15 days 16 days. Now, Mrashebejiafo no be Ajiatum, Ebimusu have very view. One of them majority chief whip Muntaka. And also say this should be done by a member of parliament, but not an outsider. And it is about a legal process and a legal understanding of how the standing orders and the constitution is saying. And this is filing motion to challenge the speaker's decision. They will debate the motion at the end of the day. But we said, one of the reasons on also how expensive by-elections have become and recent time tagging are being. So he's trying to let's look at that angle. Now, ABR, there should be other parliamentary process.
And imagine, sir, 3 seats, you declare no, sir, or members of parliament, no. 15 days, does it mean say a by election?
Yes, process you declare move vacant there, then the electoral commission must go into full action to conduct a by-election. The question is it prudent? The tension in the country today, will it be a good platform? Or some other by-elections will come her. And the expensive nature to which by-elections have become. So those are the things on also yes. So this one no straightforward understanding to it. Everybody has a certain mindset or the back one say oh so for me parliamentary processes. Let's see how the motion will go and then let's see how the privileged committee say but fairly, ye say obiti say Honorable Kennedy Japan. So when Bisa permission poor, I believe say he has enough medical records to prove say this was the reason why I'm sitting for this number of this. Maybe
encouraging say he can use medical records as
that is
substantially or to me prove within those days I one parliament medical reports say na yare na bono say
but with this statement you are endorsing lawlessness.
It's not lawlessness
because if truly you just have to say mentiapo may hear this. But so to sit maybe, and then you are called and you are now coming to justify why you...
Maybe only leadership was notified. But maybe notification, it's only call the clerk, the man speaker and anchor. But if your leadership can attest, really this and this and this happened. Because people will have to come with evidence to witness for you to be able to clear you in this kind of situations. Now, Honorable Court so honestly it say yare na born na otu kwan yare sana. So all these things will come to the fore. Sankrofo
ono kramate say obi send a message say waba. Yes, organ.
No parliament.
Yeah.
Yesterday he was in the chamber. And all these things, over free witnesses, mama are testy with records. Honorable just for to beat me about with the same this thing. So and straight jacket say unyanya 15 days now oh pam ni pano because bibi timisi obi quiet. Ema ni esanka ekoso no ntimi nkoso ntimi before say a process yen na yenhwe the way ebeko ma it's not a matter of celebration.
This NDC this one we nipa ye dey wo mo kwa nyina mo MPP members of parliament tika NDC were good news for more. Say
it's not about
you can test to really to see say Ghana for Afimo, Ghana for Kowadomo. It can be a test.
It's not about say good news in that sense. Because politics here, you see young then and then if we say MPP, you are happy. Or China the same fate before you members of parliament. You are able to be at any time. Or not to go through the same thing. Will be trigger. So there's nothing like celebration. But rightly say bibia ko we na say nipa no fum na say di mrani dina na e open we will go for the by election. At the end of the day Ghanaians will decide the fate of who an MP will be. But menim wolo no say ene ye the same way do na say you are whether you are bad from contesting again. I don't think you'll be bad. You can go and contest or sit again. So what have we done? The person may win. So we near any state resources nana who prudent use of it.
I mean the interpretation but say what the car banner the marriage chill and I say but say car no call auction near auctioner wow car near the ano kwamina
and the normal circumstances
you must be given the first
option
but it doesn't happen.
Greed into
it doesn't happen.
Greed into na yenya sad
because
nipa no what the right option say obekwa ko siki na di amano say ebo no bekọ so say bet
there be who they believe say oye ne sa nipa no be sheda deliberately between sheda jaya ma de no
that car you can't keep it forever. You still it goes into an auction. What I say, yes, the can one side of it could be true, but state cannot hold the car forever.
And see, and none of me this by-election of absenteeism.
I don't think the law bars anybody from contesting.
It's a gray area. We will have to find.
I don't think the law bars.
Really?
I don't think. We all need to avert our mind, but I don't think because it hasn't happened before.
No.
So this may be the first time. And we hope how the process will. But also, car somewhere out the buy, you know, many people even apply. It be a sad time now. I call the more regional. I think when you're you wanted independent person to even a higher duty. State in Benyaska, but you have found now. I call the value no more. More people for. It doesn't make sense. Truly, it doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't the state go for the extra duty? I'll be just cut down, say, or kako BT price no down, and they are now, one thing they won't say, Kofi, who could trust no. Now, Brenau talker, at the back room, and that your farmer, no between whom will be on the panels, can the Panabra Bonco ye, Unimza.
On the money ben way, on the so attraction car.
Well, when I call the buy, Uchi.
What's going on? I'm ready by a Uchi. But, this Adjusafo issue. The man be here topic akese e-levy. E-levy ba ye moadwane technically you say na ye deliberate say NDC for no share dabwapa. Babi really e dey amase on there was a quorum so long as anamo ho bibia ko yi ansana mo stage that work out no. Really no as it stands now to say e-levy no ye hwe ni mo say ebeba.
Categorically sana bagbi
say
the way you
no that is the interpretation that is the interpretation we are getting say so long as ana omo wo before when the quorum was formed and son of one make it the workout.
Why wasn't that same statement made on the 30th of November? Emra majority working out or no bag be nothing a minority a disapprove budget. Why wasn't say that same statement? Why was a Supreme Court action initiated? Ruling by to show say near minority null and void because 137 cannot reject a budget and cannot take a decision, but the right is half of parliament, which is 137.5. Nipa so the only half in the 138 because we share the same action Munia Richie Sky at the core. Supreme Court can say the ruling of Justice Abulai has already taken care of your action. Let's put this issue aside. So this is the same thing just said, but the records in parliament, having worked out on the second reading before the third consideration and the final approval, you can't tell us because you're forming quorum at the year debate that quorum should be quorum applied to the approval because the same majority side debated the budget on the 30th. Debate was concluded. Debate concluded here. Voice vote by disagreement by calling for division. The whole working out because the numbers they didn't have the numbers. They saw say you 137 enough voting no. Now at that time they were 132 say 130 or parliament. They will lose and the budget will be rejected. And until they took that decision. At that put there, look at the time you're working out earlier before even the second reading was done, before the consideration of the clauses was done. Answer now, question about this whole back and forth, I don't think that is the position that we took. We knew, and you see, precedents were. Look at Haruna's statement before staging the workout. It was clear. So leader yes our statement, even if you find somebody sitting, he didn't participate in this thing, you cannot count him because the side has already declared say we are out of the chamber or we are out of this process. For me, an action has been filed. You're showing him the Supreme Court.
But before Supreme Court, President and Sasha Siama say next month from the first Chamber of Communication for issue statement. I just say everything will be made available from the first 11 between
say as at now. Action are filing. You are filing injunction. Did we file injunction? No. So nothing prevents the president not to sign. And nothing prevents the implementation not to start. We have gone for an interpretation. And it may be a further action of either stay of execution of the law or whatever. And never deter GRA, Ministry of Finance, from implementing the law that the president has signed. If that process has not been triggered, I don't see anything stopping it. So for me, the action before the court, quickly, the justices should put in the earliest sitting. At the end of the day, say almost 137 and even on the floor that day was 136 because a purported or a supposed sick person was outside the chamber in a certain ambulance.
The ambulance not true. Because I saw an ambulance.
I say you know who ambulance, but you need your home.
Yes, I'm the coffee.
Now I was so
Chief Transit Minister, right?
Now that day, media for you were not curious to know who was in the ambulance. Why were you selective in this time? Because maybe you would like to know who was in the ambulance. But this time, all the media.
Kwamina, what you call this ambulance? No.
There's a claim, say the sick MP, Honorable Kojokum. is in the ambulance. So why was the media not curious to know?
Was a claim made before the ambulance arrived there? Or
The ambulance arrived
or
and the
after
claim was
that?
on the floor. Said we are 137 because we have one person outside by the majority side. Intelligence media for one curious to really know say ambulance was carrying the sick MP, and then the people's privacy has been taken key, but maybe there.
Maybe why the any akɔhwɛ no ambulance. Akɔhwɛ obi ambulance.
Maybe there.
Maybe akɔhwɛ obi ambulance. Akɔhwɛ obi ambulance.
It's a contest over figures.
Maybe a sitting president by whatever died. Mu media for catch say mu di pick up na fa no. Me hu media only otimi twa say ye di pick up na fa.
Media na can answer the opposition who were saying it in the media. It wasn't the media that said
but
it.
But the media anchored it.
Oh, but they said it in the media.
And you anchored it.
I'm anchoring your speech right now. It doesn't mean what you are saying. I'm the one saying it. We was ambulance no. Me who here well.
Ambulance abesi o. And I check class as ambulance.
Yes, I say. Me na me feel so muyi no crowd no go inside.
No we who know inside.
If you are not our chambers.
That's the politics we are doing. It's so dirty. Me, I don't see say me nua me bra me papa me busu any yari to that extent. You find the life in the agrosa. So at that critical moment,
life I did the agro there are statements, I don't know whether true or false. Even Eja Tayare Krano. On several occasions, I say on step down because none health no. So step down. Even after the death, JJ Rollins, the late, and so says and Keja 30 year he would have prolonged the life kakra. And so there were cause at that time on also health. There are beliefs
owu dey timi back point. Owu.
Yeah.
Whether we are o. Yet is ahaban mu na ahaban dada. Etimi to at any day. It is sometimes nipa training kwa na nipa kasa is only nyame a. Emra ne dey sun ye no otie futu wanko. Are you getting me? I'm talking about But you see this situation nipa ne yari I feel say critically. Sa nipa no so why don't you, because parliament is masters of their own rules and procedure. Nipani Tigana or Yari, Tiarin Paso. Say critical say they need his vote at that critical moment. I don't know when you saw more procedure to get whatever, whether through proxy or whatever through whatever means. Because I don't think they would have been flouting any law. But to wheel him
if indeed
in stretcher, big packet of parliament. With all these things, why do we do this? Internationally, doesn't make sense. Sometimes, I believe that we need to have a lot of reforms in our procedures in this country. What was the necessity for at that critical moment? Say, so why we because even the last time, look at Napo's condition or the buyer, even at time of climbing steps, all these things, tasks or patronal task. Another complication. So sometimes I believe say a governance system, no, we should grow above pettiness and nyamana.
A belly dear to me question is this parliament here was say has it really helped our democracy? Look at you say MPC being say is you money out the by election about the passage of e-levy, Ajasafwa went to just a controversy in the doors.
Is it Kofi? This is the longest serving constitution. And it is telling us a lot of things to eschew pettiness and go above the partisan politics. This is the right parliament to realign and straighten up the kind of politics I hear. But another tension. 29 years in democracy. Nothing has crossed our path. We are enjoying serenity and peace. At least we are enjoying steady growth of our country. No matter how the hardship, we are better off. And you are working in a sound environment. Revolution time, who could sit behind the console and talk to who? Are you getting me? And no matter how economic difficulties are come, this is a better one than say destabilize your situation. And say ano any need the parliament to really look at the state of this country and be able to take themselves off the partisanship, to hold the executive in check, so that niyama wa ujina obro no ekan ye no executive betimi make it the right approvals to be able to get those developments. Because over the years then you approve budget, you sika ye koji loans, but at the end of the day niyama ye here ewo ye bro no, are we getting it? So you, the member of parliament, whether NDC or whether NPP, you are protecting a party, the executive arm. Nia ese ko ubro no unya. Enne mo eden munyina mujina afani afa. Until the era said the majority will have their way, minority will have their say. No, it's no more there, because the numbers to make critical decisions, will be any be. So left must watch right, right must watch left, for the president to be able to do right to all manner of people. But what are we seeing? More parliament, they still feel say they have absolute power, because this kind of kangaroo style of doing things. Because that day already e-levy by, look at, they invited 4 of NDC MPs to Tamale for a commission of a flyover. So, and come koya, because any part of business statements. So minority leader would have gone, Soini would have gone, Mutala would have gone, Sagneru, ADF Hussein.
What Tamale was Albetiana air pass it.
So what was the mindset?
Okay.
When him say Udi a critical bill iba, then you are taking some other people say commissioning if they didn't use their sense.
And interesting, the minister for
Rose didn't go.
Rose didn't go.
Minister of Transport.
No, but he left where the controversies about power.
I get me.
The desperation to pass it now.
Who minister or Rose?
It is minister of economy.
Who say man in Baho, but you were. And we don't have to be doing this as ourselves. And the parliament, and again, first time an opposition member is sitting as the speaker. So there should have been that broad consensus. Say ebe collaborate ye nyama ebe bo man, but still no nyama ekoso no this is the first time we've gotten fiscals in parliament. Not once. I get me, and say tutu nyama here we can get more ahead. We don't need it. So members of parliament, the speaker, and the parliamentary service board should really look at some of the procedures and actions so that it can help all of us. Again, there must be that constant reach from the executive to parliament, so that the executive be bar adwin to atua at that level because before introduction. This e-levy, if the president or Papa, the mode of introduction was wrong, and they would have sealed it, people would have been very, very conscious of it before finance member Babet Kanya be heja to this time. And then why a projection is 6.9, we be implemented from May.
Yeah.
So meaning your projection unya, and nipa do na use mobile money answer now. Would year projection so be bring free so me say by 30th April me fisu. Oh yes, I will not do any transfer. Me to ya. I won't pay.
And you be jai momo.
Yes, I won't pay because
just because of Kakana Betriano.
There's no sense in it.
So you now pick taxi and transport their money. And can be to me use.
Me the bema will be managed better. See me the bema buy because I've not been convinced about the amount of money that have been dissipated in this country per project. And to me, and yes, because me know koto wachi. misika she mi bottom media tua cheka who the momo na tia who tia tax on tax. And then so what is the equity in this payment? And this abai and I say going forward every government service of our render no the when tia momo unya and the government services
I say Yashas stadium or kwa take it.
And the yanko because it's a renewal of me road ready. Now say unji cash now by momo and they can't even renew.